Hi, my name is Maraea. Life is a Game of Tarot. This is the name of the channel. This is probably the last lot of videos in the Eye of the Needle series, and before I get into the initial intro that I recorded, I really want to take a few moments to talk about this period. Now, this set of videos was started in the Lionsgate period and was wrapped up towards the end of the Crossroads of Destiny. It was created to provide me personally, and anyone that is aligned with my own journey, with a set of readings to assist with the process of refinement, which the Eye of the Needle series is all about: spiritual refinement, ascension. And this part, or a part of the process of ascension, using the energy of the Lionsgate portal and also the Crossroads of Destiny, huge moments in our recent times. Now, one of the things that I've realised as I've finished editing this series of videos, and look, I'm going to apologise in advance because I am tired while I'm recording these. That said, each of these readings, they have well, I'm going to say resonant frequencies, but they have information, or the readings themselves are designed to help you with this stage of your journey, spiritual refinement. And one of the things that I did realize as I got to the end, not completely burying my head in shame at the fact that I was falling asleep at the end of every single one of them, but rather celebrating the fact that I got through them and I do see them as valuable in terms of what they will provide. The other thing I realized is that actually, for anybody who missed making choices in this time, that in making this series, it's providing you with a portal that you can come back and take as if you stepped through this period of time consciously and making choices. Me personally, I don't like the idea of being bound to prophecy. The prophecies say, for example, of the Crossroads of Destiny, which comes up once every 130 years or something along those lines. So, if you find your way here, trust in the process, know that I've got your back, and that you can use this series. There's this reading, and I think two before it, that are made in this time period. There are others that are made in this period, but these three specifically are about spiritual refinement and using the energy of Lionsgate and the Crossroads of Destiny portal. Okay, so that aside, I think that I'm good to send us back to the original intro. Oh, one more thing before I do. Just know that at any point in time, you can choose to listen to other readings within the series. You don't have to limit yourself to one. As always, take what resonates. If you're finding one reading doesn't fit, listen to the next one or the next one. In general, the guidance provided is for spiritual development. So, yeah. Enjoy, and all the best on your journey. Life is a Game of Tarot. My name is Maraea. Welcome. This is the Eye of the Needle Refinement series. And there are two other readings in the series so far. There's a bit I want to get through in the introduction, and so I'm just going to plow straight into it. I want to lay down a blessing before we go any further. Before I do that, let me just introduce the reading that we're doing today. It is what path is opening now, and the topics we're going to cover within that, or the questions we're going to cover, is what is appearing in front of you? Where are you in relation to it? What will anchor as you move forward? And what is the blessing on the horizon, or what future potential is already on its way if you stay aligned with this path? So, that said, I want to lay down a blessing. Just allow yourself to become fully present to yourself and sit into the space that you're in with full appreciation for yourself, remembering that you are whole and complete. Allow yourself to feel the expanse of yourself and your field, the flame that you hold. Just sit it in front of you. Allow yourself to be at one with all that is. May the path that you walk be ever blessed. May those that walk with you enjoy the adventure with you, and you the adventure with them. May you be blessed in your becoming and in your being. Now, go ahead and choose a group 1, 2, 3. Where's my feather? And while you're choosing, I also want you to take a moment, to sit into your mind's eye and allow an object to come forward, because we are doing charms, and this is an invitation to you to practice using your intuition. So allow an image to come forward. It could be a word, it could be an object, it could be a picture, it could be anything. It could be in anything. So allow that to come forward, and at the end of each read I will bring the charms out, and then you can see how on point you were with your intuition. So if you haven't already chosen a group, please do that, and then make your way to the timestamp in description. I will see you in your reading. Group 1, welcome to your reading. My name is Maraea. Life is a game of tarot. There is usually a song that comes in before each read. And I start to think, gee, what was that song? And for your group. And the song was, and there's not a song every single group, but there certainly is in some cases. Now, group 1, there was a song that came up before the reading starts, and if there's a group that applies to, it's probably this one, right? And I'm going to say probably, and we'll see how true that is as we go into the read. But it was, now I forget the name of the artist, but please, I want you, I need you, oh God, please stay. These beautiful things that I've found, beautiful things. I forget the artist's first name, but the last name I think is Boone. Beautiful things. I think the song talks about discovering the way someone feels about a person. But, you know, we could be talking about a situation. I do feel this is personal. Hey, look, we're in the Eye of the Needle series. It's not possible to be in this series really without some deep motivation, and which often comes in the form of, you know, a counterpart, right? Doesn't necessarily have to be, but you know, so just take what resonates here. But yeah, that's the song that came through. But there's also something else that was sitting with me prior to the reading, and it's the feeling of being between faith and fear, and sort of a pendulum between the two. So there's a space of neutrality, the space of deep faith, deep trust, and then a swing into the what if. And it's not that it's not valid. I do, you know, do believe that there is validity in the experience that one goes through while stepping into or aligning deeply to one's highest timeline. That said, right, I'm going to go straight into the reading and trust that you have taken some time. Well, actually, I haven't mentioned it yet, so I will now. I've mentioned in the pre-shuffle. And take a moment to envisage an object in your mind's eye. Because when we pull charms, what we're looking for is confirmation on the fact that your intuition is on point. Okay? Alright, so let's get into the reading. So, group 1. What is the path that is appearing before you? Page of Wands. What we're looking at here is curiosity. And I'm going to dive deeper into that. Actually, I'm gonna go through. I'll look at these all, and then I will unpack them. So we're looking at discovering and discovery, and there's something here about balance. So we've got this figure, right, in this Page of Wands, and she's holding up this bookcase with 2 cats balanced at either side. So there's something about balance here, and the balancing act, even though traditionally the card is about exploration and taking the time to explore. We're going to look deeper into this. This is really interesting. I was called to use this deck for the first question, and I can see why. What would normally be a really fast explanation for me is going to require a little bit more. Where are you in relation to your path? Ace of Cups. In reverse. What will anchor you as you move forward? The 3 of Pentacles. And the blessing on the horizon is the Hierophant. Which is awesome. I love that. So I'm going to clarify this Page of Wands. King of Cups. Four of Pentacles. So what I see here is this black swan. Who is masterfully gliding through the lake. Towards this 4 of Pentacles. Now this particular 4 of Pentacles I find is I'm just being asked to stop for a second. Why? Okay. Okay, so what I see here. This four of... This is what I'm saying. I'm going to say what I'm saying, and then I'm going to work out what it is saying in relation to you and your path forward. So we have this King of Cups representing emotional mastery. And this, for me, what I see here is this swan heading towards these pentacles. And it's like they're representing themselves to me as like crumbs someone's thrown into the water that the King of Cups is about to eat, right? I have no idea. Let's call them breadcrumbs. Except that the breadcrumbs are all tied together, and there's almost like a bit of a detangling that needs to happen before the King of Cups is able to eat from this table, so to speak. So what does that have to do with the Page of Wands? What else do we want to see here or need to see here? Got the Death in reverse and Hermit in reverse. It's so interesting because the King of Cups has been represented to me upright. And yet we have Death in reverse and the Hermit in reverse beneath these two cards. And it's almost like, you know what I'm getting here? Because normally it's a lot easier for me to see the story. And it's almost like, this is a mystery. Such a mystery. And it's almost like it's your mystery to solve. And I say that because we're dealing with the Page of Wands, who is the explorer, who does unravel the mystery, who does go on the adventure. I have a feeling adventure is going to be a theme within our readings, given it came up in our blessing at the start of the reading. It was what I was called to say. So, what I see here, right, when I look at the cards, is it's like this bird is the mirror image of the King of Cups. Because I will see if I can unpack this for you as much as possible. But like I said, there is a journey here for you of discovery. So I'll go as far as I can, and then once I have the breakthrough in terms of what this is speaking to, I will move on to where you are in relation to this path that is appearing. So we have a mirror image here, but what we don't have is a mirror image here, which is interesting to me. So the Hermit upright speaks to taking time to introspect, to gain wisdom. Now the light is here, but it's facing down. Let's go a little bit. Let's go a little further. This is getting interesting. Where is the Hermit's light facing or pointing to? Here we got this set of stairs, and do you know what? I wanted to come out in reverse. I know what this is talking to. I know what this is talking to. I should have talked about this at the start of the reading, or at the start of in the intro. And look, when I first did when I did the first intro, I did actually talk about this thing that I'm about to talk about. But then I was like, you know what? No, I'm going to save it for the reading with the Obsidian, because it relates to the Obsidian. But I am seeing this here. I can't not talk about it. Right? Because what I see here is this mirror world, this mirror image. And it's like the shadow self, or the inner self of the King of Cups is represented here. Right? And so when I'm asking, what is the Hermit lighting up here? Why, he's in reverse. And we'll come back to hopefully by the time we get down here, this is going to make more sense. And the card we get in reverse, or wanting to come out in reverse, is the 9 of Wands. Now, can you see what I see? What I see here is a stairway going down, right? Now, I want to talk to you about what it is that I saw in a vision today. The vision this morning came through as soon as I had said yes, no eyes closed. It just popped straight in while my eyes were wide open. I wasn't reaching for a vision as much as it just popped right in. I'm going to tell you what I saw. I saw a big black obsidian stone. It was polished. It was huge, about the size of a table. And there was a significant other person standing beside me. And I reached into the stone, I pulled out a dove, and I gave it to the person beside me. And then I made my way inside the stone. And the person that was with me followed me into the stone. Inside of the stone, it was a huge cavern. A wall on one side, just what was like either granite or obsidian. It was black, and it was sparkly, actually. I think maybe that I added that detail in, but it was sparkly, and that's how it represented itself to me, and I understood what it meant. It was like it was a safe place. It was a magical place. And there's like a kind of like representing a sheer drop off to the left side, where there was just expanse. So the right side was a wall that, could walk against, and the left side was just expanse. I made my way down the pathway, right? And this is where the pathway, this is why I was like, I think I have to, in this image here, why I have to talk about this vision, because this is what I'm seeing. I'm seeing this. There was no lantern. We didn't need a lantern. The path was guided. It was a descent into darkness. The more we descended, the darker it became. But the greater sense of peace. Or rather, the more that we descended, the more peace was felt. And eventually the descent gave way to what I would describe as an inner sanctum that was filled with light. And for me, that was a representation of the personal inner sanctum, and the descent into shadow to arrive at that inner sanctum. The person that was with me walked into the wall, like as in became the wall, and I realized in that moment that person became the rock itself, and as the rock, the mountain. So it wasn't just an obsidian stone, it was an obsidian mountain. I said granite, but yeah, obsidian is actually the stone that I likened the black stone to. And that's the most of the vision. The person actually did reach their hand out and presented themselves as their person, reached their hand out and held mine, and there was a sense of accomplishment and of adventure, is what I would say. Adventure, kindred, spiritedness. And what I get in talking about this, because I thought that story was meant for the group that had the obsidian in it, but like I said, here we are, here, in this cavern, here. Right? And this is the path that is appearing before you. It is the descent into yourself, into the what you might consider the shadow or the darkness of yourself, of your own soul, which is actually beautiful. And sometimes I think, I know me personally, when I first knew that I was going to be facing this aspect of myself, I was bloody terrified. I was absolutely terrified. I think in the back of my mind was this idea that I was going to hate this side of myself. But as it turns out, that's where I found so much magic. So much magic. Like one of the things that I recognize is how, those of us that, you may resonate with this as well, who are either now walking the path of the mystic or are native mystics. I think a lot of Pisceans or people with Piscean placements probably find themselves drawn to picker cards. You'll probably resonate with that. But yeah, if you have already faced your shadow self, it might be that you are descending further into, that aspect of yourself. If you haven't already recognized the inner sanctum, then you will be. If you have, I suspect you will be, given what I saw today, assisting someone else with that process. But this story, this adventure is yours to have. And by the way, I now see what this is talking about with the balance. And I'm pretty sure I came into this read talking about the balance between faith and fear, right? Or maintaining faith to hold the balance is probably a better way of expressing what it is I see when it comes to, this energy that preceded the read. Now, let's come back to this because I want to close this up before I move on to the second question. So we have the Four of Pentacles. Can we clarify the Four of Pentacles? It's to do with the balance. So what then are we talking about? So it's to do with both the balance and... No, I'm like, it's not just about the balance. Come on now. I know what I saw with the swan. It's like there's something on the surface here, right? Oh, God, I got it. Okay, cool. So the reason why the swan cannot get these out is because they are tangled. There's this tangled. I know we're talking about the Four of Pentacles here, right? Which is really speaking to, it's speaking to both foundations and also holding on too tightly. Oh, God. Holding on too tightly to something. Okay, so like what I see here is holding on too tightly to what is keeping you on the surface. If you dive down, right, if you allow yourself to dive down into this darkness, into your darkness, right, with trust and love, knowing that this darkness is actually leading you to your inner sanctum, but you don't want to get off on, like don't veer off the path, right? This is me projecting other story in here, so take it for what it's worth. I think it's got to do with the not getting lost in the illusions that can sit inside of the cavern. See, it would have been easy to have a side quest into that deep dark cavern to discover heaps of side stories. But what is the mission here? The mission is to strip back everything that is not required for passing through the eye of the needle. Right? That's this death card here. It's everything that is superfluous. It is not heaps of other stuff that is like not going to help arrive at that inner sanctum. Right? And that is what this Four of Pentacles is talking to. It's about to be able to get this, to be able to eat the bread. To be able to eat the bread. It's a case of going down into this inner sanctum. And that is where these binds will be loosened so that you can come back up and eat the bread. Okay? But that's an adventure that you're going to have. It is the Page of Wands, and it's good juju, right? It's good juju. So where are you in relation to it? I'm definitely getting a sense of resistance here, right? It's the resistance around these pentacles. And with the Ace of Cups in reverse, there is a want to embrace the path. A want, right? The cup is still full. The cup is still full, right? And in fact, it's almost like it's full of jelly because it's not coming out even though it's tipped upside down. What's that got to do with the price of fish? What is underneath the Ace of Cups? The Mother of Pentacles, the Queen of Pentacles. You know what I get here? There might be a feeling that you have of... By the way, this is not just gender specific. And this, for me, we're talking about you. And I'm happy to stand to be corrected further on into the spread. But yeah, for me, this is, again, representing you. This is also representing you. So the Queen of Pentacles, I feel, is talking about the feeling ungrounded with this, right? I dare say this is something you would have been thinking about doing, or in the process of, like I said, if it's not you, it might be leading your person, right? And it might be the work involved with that. Now, I've just given you an example, and of what that might look like to you. The resistance that I see here, and the reason that this Ace of Cups is in reverse is because of just feeling a little unhinged about it is probably the best way to put it. Feeling a little ungrounded with it. Which I would say is probably easy enough to do. One of the things I'm going to say, seeing this Knight of Wands on the back of the deck, as an older brother to the Page of Wands, is really lean into the adventure. Lean into the adventure. Because you might feel unprepared. You might feel as though you might lose yourself in it. But stick to the path. Just stick to the path. Because what is on that wall is what you need. Not what is in the cavern. I think that is the message. Like, the cavern is beautiful. Like, look at it while you're going down. But don't dive into the cavern. Right? Unless you want a detour. Like, stick to the path. And, like, keep your hand, if you want to, on the right side of the wall. On the right, on the wall. But that, I feel, is, and I hope this is making sense, because I really get this big element of mysticism poking its way through this reading, or threading its way through this reading. But yeah, you'll be okay, is what I'm saying. Like the any self-nurturing that you do, is that's popping in as well, with the Queen of Pentacles together with the Ace of Cups. Like, give yourself the self-care that you need. And you're going to be fine. Alright, we see this deer, baby deer, fawn, nestled against his mother. And she's watchful, she's got her eye on things. It's going to be okay. Is there anything else we want to say about this Ace of Cups? And, embrace the love that you have for yourself, this other person that might be part of your act of devotion, is what I'll call it, because the series is very much about devotion. The Queen of Wands. Right, we've almost got the whole family. There we go. And we're dealing with counterparts. Okay? So we've got the Mother of Cups on the bottom of the deck, the Father of Cups over here. The Mother of Cups, again, we've got this protective energy going on here. Right? Protective energy here. Protective energy here. Plus, like I said, counterpart. So, yeah, you are likely working with a counterpart. Now, whether you're taking them with you or whether they're taking you with them, it's okay. Trust and have faith and know that you can hold this balance by staying curious, by being prepared to explore, and by knowing that with that hand on the right, on the wall, it's going to be fine. Spirit is with you. Right? Spirit is with you. Right? There in your heart. Okay? What will anchor you as you move forward? Three of Pentacles. We kind of talked about it right here, didn't we? What will anchor you as you move forward? I feel like we need a different deck here. I think this might be where we bring in Life is a Game. I just heard a yes. What will anchor you as you move forward? What inner quality, truth or practice will support your next step? What inner truth, quality or practice will support your next step? the clarity for the Three of Pentacles is the Three of Pentacles. Awesome. So, okay, basically, you're co-creating, right? You're co-creating with spirit. It's devotional. You're co-creating with spirit and you're co-creating with another person. Full stop. Right? Enough said. And there's something about this spirit of co-creation that, with the sun on the bottom of the deck is illuminating the path, right? Is illuminating the path. Like we have this illumination here, we have the sun here, and it's like, what do I see up the top here? I just want to take a moment. To consider anything I might be overlooking. I'm drawn to the chisel on the bottom here of the marble. So there are 3 people and a statue in this image. 2 people are in the background talking. The artist has finished the work here. Oh my gosh. Oh. Okay, you know what? I might have to blur it out. I'll just blur it out. It'll be fine. The artist is... Yeah, has nigh on completed the work. Is there anything I'm meant to see about this image? I think there's something about the statue and the statue being still and something about it being brought to life here. And it's funny because it's almost like the third party without being the third party, with the fourth party, sorry. If the parties are you, spirit, and something, and you, spirit, and someone else, the third party is what it is that's being created here, right? What it is that's being brought to life. And I mean, typically the Three of Pentacles, I've just never looked at this card, hence why I've stopped to see what needs to be said here. There is a church in the back here, and this also represents itself as a church, as a place of worship. But yeah, the Three of Pentacles typically talks about the creation or co-creation process, and that's what I see here, even though there's just one person doing the work. And so, this is where it might be you doing the work, group 1, to bring this whatever this thing is. It could be a project. It could be a frequency. It could be an energy. But something. Bringing something to life through this act here. Actually, you know what? I'm seeing the future here, but actually I'm being brought back to the question. And the question is, what will you anchor as you move forward? What you're anchoring here is a new, either a new project or new frequency or something new being created as a result of the work that you're doing here, or what it is you're doing here. Okay? Hopefully that makes sense. I'm going to move on. The blessing on the horizon. What future potential is already on its way if you stay aligned with this path? It's the Hierophant, man. Come on. Enough said. It's the Hierophant. It is the Hierophant. You are embodying the wisdom, the grace, the traditions even. And it could be traditional wisdom, traditional knowledge, wisdom and insight and, the teachings of God. and delivering them in a way that makes sense to others, that is music to the ears of others even. I'm going to have to look into this song because I want to know how it relates to this reading. Because, we are talking about an act of devotion. And we have these 3 children here, and they are enthralled with what the Hierophant is teaching. So, there might be something that you're bringing forward that's going to be teaching. Okay? That is going to be taught by you and possibly the person that, the other person that I see here. Okay, so hopefully that all makes sense, group number 1. I don't think, do I need to clarify this? I don't think I do. In short, let me just re-summarize. You're either going into the darkness of yourself, the shadowy aspect of yourself, the part of yourself that is the deep soul searching, or the road that is the deep soul searching, but it's where you step into the part that may be scared, right? Like I said, like there's this real 0 point where it's like, yeah, I'm cool, I'm good to go, I'm good with this, right? This feeling of like, of being cool, like, yeah, everything's good. And then there's this fear, but you're overcoming the fear. You're going to go and you're going to do this, and whether it is, like I said, for yourself or somebody else, and if it is for somebody else, using what you're being taught at the moment, because I have no doubt you will be being taught how to do this work in a way that is specific to you and your gifts. You are, hopefully, through this reading, integrating the knowledge that you have the capacity, you have the ability, you are protected, and you have the ability to protect your person. But look, hey, I had no problem with this vision, and it's because I have complete trust in my inner world now. And by the time you get this reading, I have a feeling you will too. Okay? So, and there's the knowledge too that all of it is godly. All of it. All of you. The whole thing. Right? And the only reason I say, stick to the path is because otherwise you might get distracted and you've got work to do. It's like, there's nothing wrong with the scenic route. I'm a big fan of it, but it's like if you do take the scenic route, don't take all day about it because you've got stuff to get on with, right? And that's definitely a message for somebody. Not no one specific that I know, but I'm just saying in regards to like what I get from this read. So yeah, and the blessing for you, right? You will anchor this in. You will anchor this co-creative spirit, right? That is a fact here in the read. What is being presented is what you're anchoring. So you will anchor this Three of Pentacles, this co-creative process, and you will be blessed, with this arrival at being able to teach what it is you've learned. And possibly doing it with someone else, definitely with spirit. Okay? That is the reading over. I'm going to do these charms. I hope you took some time to envisage an object in your mind's eye. Let us together see what's in here. Now, by the way, group number 1. I've put these pictures. I drew these last night. I was just doodling while I was talking on the phone. And I came up with 3 images. I'm like, right, they need to be in here. So this is, this is your one. It's actually purple, not blue, but the colour balance is a bit off. And, I hadn't even considered. Look, there are 3 fronds here. I haven't even considered what I was jolly well drawing. There are 3 fronds. And one of them is coming off the main line. Right? That to me is spirit. And then you have this one here and this one here. And this to me represents you and your person. Okay? That's awesome. Okay, so I see some messages here. I'm going to read these and in a second, but I want to go through what I see here first. So let me leave them in place so I can actually represent the message, if there is a message to be represented here. Okay, so I'll do those first and then I'll come over here. I have a stamp here that says ostrich, some bird energy going on. We have the number 55, Schloss Grafenig. It might be German. Forgive me for my poor pronunciation if it is. And we have, I'm going to go through the stamps. If I see a relationship between the object and the card, I'll mention it. William Court Gully, Speaker of the House Commons. So, we've got politics here. NEC, a lion. We've got a knife coming out of a set of wings. Or actually a hand is holding up the knife. We've got a crown. Like as in, actually it's a scepter, I think. But it looks like a crown on top of the scepter. We've got an iron gate that has come up. The iron gate that goes in front of the doors, in front of them, where there's a moat and what have you. Well, they don't always have moats, but anyway, let me hold this up in the event that you're able to see it. Sorry if you can't, because I've turned the focus off, I think. Or the autofocus off. This one here says WVZVR Western. Ex Libris. We've got an owl sitting on a book. And the book has the letters, I think, A, X, S, possibly. There's a man holding a sword. A very tall man, and he's standing on a rock, which makes him even taller. And there's a skeleton down behind him, a skull. Okay. There's a sun coming up over the horizon. So, obviously we're talking to wisdom in that one. Where did I pull this from? Was it over here, around the hermit? Make it relevant, in the space that you're going into. You are tapping into wisdom here. For sure. I mean, this whole journey is one that allows you to step into the role of the Hierophant and teach. And wisdom is a part of the teaching package. This one says Noreg. It is a squirrel. I don't know the language on this one. It says 400 and there is a 3. If I had to guess, I'd say Belgian. What is this one? It is a deer. Hand coming up holding arrows, pointing to the right side. Interesting. To the right. There's a head above them. And tassels. They're not tassels, they are what? It's like, what do I see here? It's almost like a pyramid on either side of rope that you could climb if you wanted to. And it might be Hungarian. is what I see in some of the writing down the bottom, but I can't make out the rest of the words. Okay, so we have a man reading a book. Knowledge is really important here as a feature. So, you know, as I'm reading some of these, some of these things are things that you might see. Some of these are going to apply to you or your person. So I see it's like a pilgrim, got a feather coming out of his hat and a pair of spectacles, holding a candle up to be able to read this book. On the desk there is a quill inside of an ink pot and a candelabra. On the wall is a clock with a long set of chimes. There's a jug on the desk. And it says S. Hollier, his book. Okay, so one of you might like reading. We have a turntable right there. Oh, how the... What is it? Oh, how the turntable? Yeah. Oh, how the turntables. Oh, how the turns table. Something like that. I'm here now, let's dance. Oh, okay, all right. Someone here likes music a lot. And a skateboard. So that's actually coming out over the Three of Pentacles. So this might be, you know, like, I don't know, this might fit in somehow. Like, if it fits, it fits. If it doesn't, don't make it. We have the baby with its mum. And, okay, what else we have here? We have a woman with glasses. She has a beanie on and she has long, dark brown hair. And a lot of this actually came out over the Three of Pentacles, by the way, a lot of it. So there's a lot of activity in this Three of Pentacles. And you might not see it right now, right? You might not see it, but it's here in terms of what is being anchored in by the actions that you're taking over on this side here, okay? And that's a lot, right? It's a lot. To me, it's really abundant. There's a lot of messages here, and I'm going to read them in a second. I'll do the letters last. So we have this star here as well with this diamante in it and another jewel here. This, I think, must be representative of sapphire. It's like, you know, it's literally a piece of, I don't think it's glass, it might be coloured plastic. But there's something about that, right? I know there's something that is pressing in terms of there's some meaning here. And I think it's got something to do with that. Not all that glitters is gold, but also there's something else about not all that seems worthless is without purpose. What about it? I'm just asking, what about that? You know, it's like, don't overlook what on the surface might seem unremarkable. Because beneath it you might find something most remarkable. There's something about that, and also I'm looking at the pairing and seeing an odd pairing of jewels. Now, again, take what resonates, because that's the end of transmission on that, okay? I have a key here, right? And again, it's over the top of the Three of Pentacles. Now, let me collect these messages. I'm going to read these in a second. Some of them will be from your person, because clearly there is another person here in this reading. So let me just pull these off to the side, and I will do them in just a moment. We have youthful. Yep. Okay. We have the word motivational. we have the word sweet, we have the word true, we have the word world. We have HK for me representing Hong Kong. We have the word happy. We have Mr. Incredible here. Alright, Mr. Incredible is definitely a mountain. We have a star. We have another key. So we have one key over here. We have one key sitting on the Queen of Wands. Okay, now messages are over here. We have, I'm going to do the letters last. We have a unicorn. Is there anything else? We have the word bride. And the word bride is also on top of the Three of Pentacles. Now, this could represent you in relation to your person. It could also represent you in relation to spirit. Okay? Take that as it resonates. Now, let me have a look at these. I said I was going to do the letters last. I will, and I will do these. Okay. These for me are messages from your person. Some of these may be about you specifically. I mean, said by you specifically. But, you know, in these readings, God, mirror, right? Mirror energy. So we're going to say these are from your person. Take what resonates seriously, all right? I'll do these ones first. These will be from your guide, right? Or guide side. This connection produces joy. More balance is needed in your approach to life. Really speaking to this. So if you do need actual balance in your life in general, obviously work that out for yourself. Do all the things, right? The stuff that maintains body, the stuff that maintains soul, the stuff that maintains your energy, and the stuff that maintains mind. Okay, is there anything else that I haven't mentioned already before I carry on with the messages? So I'm going to read this one. What does this say? Dark night of the soul, for real. For real. Okay, so let me read some of these messages here. So I'm a mess right now, is one of these messages, and I feel like this might be speaking to a, definitely about your person. This may or may not be true, right? Take it if it fits. Don't take it if it doesn't. But I do get that this may have been the past. Okay, doesn't necessarily have to be here and now. I do know that in life in general, most relationships, when they're going through any periods of transformation, we're going to be very quick to point out that there's some issues here. And things get pretty toxic at times, right? And I don't mean to be laughing. I'm not making a joke about this. I'm really trying to lighten up because, here's the thing. Nothing is a cakewalk unless it's a cakewalk. And you make it a cakewalk with your attitude, basically. And hence why I laugh, because I'm like, man, I get it, right? When we, this stuff here, when we're looking at this death card, right? And we're using it as a representation of what we were talking about. When you're passing through the eye of the needle, you can't take the aspects of your ego that are self-destructive. You can't take them with you, right? And those parts there, when we're looking at this message, I'm a toxic mess, it's basically what it's talking about. It's talking about leaving all of that stuff behind. Throw it into the canyon, the cavern. Throw it in there. I've shed tears over you. Right? You've opened my mind. I am grateful for you. For real. Beautiful messages. Oh gosh, before I open up this last one, because I want a nice surprise. It's nice. I like these messages. I'm going to read this one first. It says, let go and let God. Let go and let God. Okay? So, it's really about leaning in. Right, I did say here, spirit is here, right here. collaborating with you at a heart level. So allow yourself to lean into that. Okay, last message before I turn over the letters. And that is, I deeply respect you. This is a beautiful message. Okay, so we've got the letters H, L, O, I, P, D, and E. I see hope. I see lid. I see help. Group 1, I just found some cards that had fallen on the floor within the reading that I'm just pulling up here now. They are relevant, so I'm going to bring them in. We've got the Eight of Pentacles, the Fool, and the Son of Swords. If you are looking for a new beginning, right? If you are looking for a new beginning, and word of it, and like this Eight of Pentacles, where things are working, where there is something being created, something being designed here, consider this your confirmation. Okay, so you might not have heard from your person for some time, right? You might not be in contact with your person in the 3D, but you might be in contact with them in the 5D or within the etheric. But, you know, by the way, on that note, if you are only working in the 5D with your person, definitely maintain your balance. Maintain your balance. And I say this because it can be easy to become attached to the 5D and the etheric and become lost in the illusion. And that is not going to be helpful to you. All right? Keep your hand on the wall. Make your way down. All right? And don't get lost in the illusion. But balance is key. And your connection with spirit and your heart center. Okay? Hopefully that all makes sense. All right, that's it. I'm out. Bye-bye. Group 2, welcome to your reading. Life is a Game of Tarot. My name is Maraea. And the theme today is what path is opening now. And we will get straight into the shuffle, the pre-read shuffle. So, first card, the path appearing. Okay, the next question is, where are you in relation to that path? Okay. What will anchor you as you move forward? And your blessing on the horizon. Yes or no? No? Yes. Alrighty then. Okay. Group 2, welcome to your reading. My name is Maraea. Life is a Game of Tarot. So we, you know, like, what's interesting is, like, this feels straightforward. I've had a couple of stop-starts while I was getting ready for your reading, but I am looking at this thinking, I think that was all about me. Because when I look across here, I see stillness, I see arrival. I mean, we've got 99 here, and then 11. And it's almost like, you know, we've ticked over 99, you know, oh, 9. Well, I know 10 follows 9. But, like, the number after 9 is 1, right? And there's 2 1s here. But, yeah, it's like, it feels calm. It feels like even the King of Wands is in reverse here. So, I'm not sure what's going on for you, but we're going to find out, you know, what path is appearing in front of you. And let's just pull this out and see what we're looking at here. Aha. Wow, we've got the King of Swords right next to the King of Wands. Actually, before we go any further, I better just say something, one thing about this set of readings. This is the Eye of the Needle series, and the Refinement series. It's a term worth looking up. If you don't know what it is, I can't explain it to you because I'm not that great when it comes to recounting history, and I have tendency to change the details to make my story sound better. So, and then be wildly inaccurate. But what I do know is that when we're talking about the Eye of the Needle, we're talking about what it takes to transcend the ego or integrate is probably a better way of putting it. Integrate the ego. The path appearing here. What energy, opportunity or lesson is beginning to reveal itself to you? What I'm drawn to there is the bird on the hands of the lady. Oh, by the way, you know what I've forgotten to do is bring your charms in. Group number. So this is what I'm talking about. It's so, you know, here's the thing. This is the energy I'm seeing here. But you may be in this energy of things starting, of interruptions, of things not getting off the ground. The King of Wands energy in this reading is representing itself to me as a little bit scattered. And that's the energy that I've come into the reading with. So I just wasn't wanting to be too quick to make that about this reading, but I can't dismiss it. And especially when we're looking at this pairing here, because, like I said, I mean, even these two are both still. The King of Swords is a pretty stoic figure. I mean, he might have a lot to say, but he's not really a man of action outside of issuing orders, perhaps, or imparting wisdom, imparting logic, imparting rationalization. So let's get some clarification here. We just had a card drop down. We've got the Queen of Pentacles in reverse. By the way, let me stop. See, again, like another interruption here, but I need to interrupt just in case I forget. Take the time, please. Pause if you need to allow your mind's eye to see an object, a word, or a sound, so that when we pull the charms, you can check your intuition against the charms. To see how on point your intuition is. So we have any more clarification here on maybe the King of Swords? Oh, got a few there. The King of Wands again. We have Death and the World on this side, and we have the Five of Pentacles. So, I feel like this is both lesson and energy, and, well, I said both, but also opportunity here. Like the path that's unfolding for you is one of sovereignty. But the opportunity is to integrate some aspects of yourself that help you arrive at this place of sovereignty. Interesting pairing, because it literally, I mean, as I was putting the two together, I'm like, what, excuse me, what is the Nine of Pentacles plus the King of Swords? What does that equal? And it is sovereignty. I mean, the King of Swords wields the sword. And the Nine of Pentacles is self-possessed and independent. So this is the path that's opening up to you. It's one of stepping into your sovereignty, into self-sovereignty, but in a way that is steady, resolved perhaps. And then right beneath this pair we have this King of Wands. And it's interesting because, and definitely bears talking about, because over here he's represented as to where you are in relation to this energy that is asking you to embody it, or that is asking to be embodied by you. Kind of a weird way to put it, huh? Just, it is what it is. But yeah, so you might be feeling like you are scattered, and perhaps you may also feel like you have the tools to make stuff happen, but you're just not able to get your, I mean, say it straight, your ass into gear. Perhaps. So, you know, here we have this opportunity to embody the King of Wands, to allow yourself to be inspired, like deeply inspired by, actually, I'm going to point to this experience that I see around you of This is how you're going to integrate this too. This is cool. Let me just pause for a second. This is funny, because I can feel my throat. I went off to eat some chocolate cake earlier, and it's just like coated my throat, and now like my throat is like, throat chakras feels a little kind of stuck. It's not, but anyway, I'll be back in a second. Okay, so we're back. Point in case. So one of the things I was thinking about as I stepped away to get myself some more water, what I realised is that A, you might be scattered. Oh, I've already said that. B, you might have stop, start on your journey, and it might feel for that reason like you're not getting anywhere. There's also something else here that I considered, and that's that I was like, why did I mean, saying the word ass is not really, it's not like a major swear word, but it kind of is. Like here in New Zealand, we're brought up not to say that word as kids. Well, I was anyway. And so I'm like, why am I being really casual in this reading, which is part of a very sort of serious devotional set of readings, the Eye of the Needle refinement series. Why am I relaxing a little much? And I realized, when dealing with this pair here representing sovereignty and self-sovereignty in regards to spirituality and devotion and devotional practices, I think often it's easy, given the love and light brigade, which I've been a part of, so I can speak about it from that perspective, or that place of knowing. It always seemed like there was a proper way to do things. When you go to church and everyone's really, really, really nice at church, and then they get home and they're different people. I mean, I'm not saying that's how the New Age set was, or how the Love and Light Brigade is necessarily. But one of the things that I've learnt is that, like, holy shit show, and like, things are perfectly imperfect. There are a lot of ways that we can bypass spirituality, or we can, and that's a funny term too, because like when you hear it, it's like, what does that even mean? What it means to me is when you act spiritual, talk spiritual, and do all the things, the yoga and the meditation and the breath work, but you're still an asshole. And you're still an asshole because you haven't dealt with all of this stuff here. Boom, boom. This stuff here. This stuff here. This stuff here. This stuff here. And I mean, it's not necessarily, these things aren't bad. It's just that when you've got self-sabotaging patterns running in the background, those patterns, if you add the likes of guilt and shame in, they hold you. Guilt and shame holds you in patterns of self-sabotage that were often created in youth. Now, I know a lot of us already know about this stuff, and it's great. A lot of us have been doing work on the psyche. And so, basically what wanting to impart here is, and it's not, not doesn't necessarily have to be about you. It can be more that I'm just giving you background here. So take it on board as that, unless it does apply to you. But it is easy to get caught up in doing all of the things without stepping out of the guilt and the shame, and or changing these patterns. And the way that I'm being shown that you're changing these patterns is by integrating them and bringing them into creation here with this King of Wands. It's like, when I say creation, it's like it provides the inspiration for you to embody this leadership role that you're being basically called into. Like, you're in resistance. I mean, there's some resistance here. And I say resistance because if it wasn't resistance, it would be upright and you would be doing the thing. But you're not doing the thing. So definitely not a growling on my part. I have been asked, I've been called, rather, to give it straight. And this is probably the straightest I can give it. But you do have the world on its side here. So, like, there's a karmic cycle that you're in the middle of completing, of closing out, death on its side. So it's like you're close to closing out this cycle. But there is this here points to abandonment and feeling abandoned and feeling like you're on your own. And with the Queen of Pentacles in reverse, it's like there's an incapacity here to appreciate one's own capacity, full stop. One's own capacity. And, given the amount of the issues that I'm having with my throat at the moment, you might even be having difficulty talking to those around you. So that's what I see, Group 1. That's what I see. Enough said. And I've already talked about this one here, which is, where are you in relation to this path? But so, just know that as I move along here, you are on this path of self-sovereignty. You are closing out this cycle here. You will integrate these old patterns represented here by this Five of Pentacles, which does talk to feeling on your own, feeling left out, feeling abandoned, and anything that is related to that. Feeling like you've had to do it by yourself. Feeling like there's no support for you. Okay? So, what will anchor as you move forward is this feeling of self-satisfaction. Like you fucking did it. You see, there I go again. I was going on to talk about this, right? I was going on to talk about this. Often with our shadow side, we're taught that it's bad, right? We're taught that, well, we may not be taught that it's bad. It's more a case of when we grow up, excuse me, we hid these aspects of ourselves. We hid these aspects of ourselves so that we were less likely to be attacked by others or be put down. So we had these aspects of ourselves, and I mean, all of the hiding didn't stop, right? Whatever it was that helped to set these patterns in place. But as you transcend, integrate these patterns, you're going to move into this really powerful space of self-sovereignty, leadership, and fulfillment. Deep fulfillment. Like this person here is, and I see this cross too. It looks like a cross. It's not actually, but it looks like one. And it looks like, it says PRB, but it looked like be right back. That's what it looked like, BRB. So, yeah, I mean, this person looks pretty satisfied, and not all of 9 of Cups do. He's happy. Look, those cups are made of gold. Well, okay, but they are, and they're on the, yeah. They're, what do you call this when they are showcased? They're being showcased. I think your reading's going to be pretty straightforward. I think most of the stuff that I'm giving you, I think is going to be helpful to you. You know, take what you need from what it is I'm saying and leave the rest. I was going on to talk about the journey of the Fool. There's a moment where I was like, man, I'm an absolute idiot. Like, it's like, but I'm a spiritual idiot, and like I'm a pretty bloody amazing idiot. But it is a holy shit show. It's imperfect. And I'm imperfect, and I'm still whole, and I'm still complete. I'm still spiritual. And, you know, I'm devoted to God, basically. And, yeah, I can be all of that and still be who I am. And it's this work that I've done here at integrating these things, of taking the walk in the dark and appreciating all the light, not just the light aspects of myself, but also all the dark aspects of myself. And see, for me, one of those aspects is Queen of Wands. You've got King of Wands here, which is leadership. For me, it's Queen of Wands. And it's allowing people to see that side of myself that is, well, the way I'm showing up in this reading. And it's a side of myself that I hid for years. Because of the amount of shame that represented for me, but basically from my childhood. Same with the Queen of Swords. I mean, I grew up being made fun of because I was a know-it-all. I still am. And I was a chatterbox. So somewhere between the Queen of Swords and the Queen of Wands. And yeah, people didn't really get me. They didn't understand me. And I've learnt to love all of those parts of myself now. All of them. So I can show up. But I can show up now where I'm in this space here, which is why I'm talking to you about it. And what it looks like when you integrate is that you can turn up and you can just be. And that's enough. I did a TikTok recently where I just turned on the camera and I sat there for about, I don't know, 5 seconds before I said anything. I didn't have anything profound to talk about. But like, I was like, oh, fuck it. I'm just going to make this for me. All right? I mean, I'm just going to make this. I'm going to turn it on. And I was compelled to put that TikTok on, to upload it. Or it was already uploaded, but to post it. And to know that, you know, it was probably not going to be a view with a lot of vids, with a lot of views. So it probably wasn't going to be a video with a lot of views. But it didn't matter. It was something I needed to do. And, you know, someone will see it and be like, okay, somewhere, somehow that will help somebody else integrate and step into their own state of being. But when you're in that state of being, that sovereign state of being, you can do anything, you can be anything. Because, you know, you can quickly come back to the space. So, you know, if you want to perform, you can perform. If you want to just be, you can be. But there's so much freedom in this. So, you know, if you know, whatever stage you're at, just know that you're going to integrate this, and this is the path you're on. You're going to wrap up a karmic cycle here. You're going to allow your ego to be reset and restored. You know, ego death. I have a very good friend who will speak on the merits of the idea of integrating ego. And so literally when I'm talking about this, I'm going to be talking about what he said that I happen to agree with completely. It's just I can't talk about it without acknowledging, because it was one of the best things that was ever said to me by that person, apart from "you are whole and complete." But this, you know, this death on its side points to the, you know, the stalling of integrating these aspects of yourself that keep you heavy, keep you weighed down, keep you locked into this world cycle. And once you determine that actually you can be friends with what you consider to be on the inside that is unlovable, once you make friends with that, you're away laughing. You can then allow yourself to sit fully into this energy here, and to go for what you want and do what you want and lead with charisma in the way you were born to, knowing that you're fully supported by the universe, by God. Okay? So let me come over here now to the blessing that's on the horizon for you. Justice. Justice, for me, that represents passing through the eye of the needle. Turn the sky up. Right, let's do that right there. Passing through the eye of the needle, basically being light enough that you pass through the gates, and the gates look like unconditional love. Right? Unconditional love is one of them. There are a couple of others that I can't remember in the moment, but yeah, where you love yourself fully and wholly, that you can love others fully and wholly. And I see this being really swift too, is this transition here into embodying, oh my God, it's the King of Cups. How beautiful is that? It's emotional mastery. And you'll get that emotional mastery from integrating. And it's mostly here, what I see is one thing. Now this one thing might give way to a few things, but it's one big thing. And once you do that, like I see you here, like just making your way through this narrowing sort of, and this is how this is represented to me, and this is why I ended up doing the series, because I saw the, what is it called, convergence of 2 points as I was travelling towards the middle of that 2 points, right in the middle. They were was getting smaller and narrower, and I realised that to go through there was still some things, you know, to pass through this gate. Right, I already had unconditional love, but what was still holding me back from passing through? There was something about that act of unconditional love and that act of devotion that was still not quite there. And so, you know, I worked out what it was and went for it. And that's part of your journey, is to work out what are you still holding on to that is representing itself in your life over and over again in a way that keeps you in any patterns of self-sabotage within your relationships, within your work, within your love life, within your general experience. And you'll know what that is. So yeah, that's what I see for you. I see for you with justice. It's you arrive, right? It's like arriving. It would be the same as arriving at the pearly gates and the book being opened and St. Peter saying, all right, yes, away you go. You can go in. It's not that you're going, I'm not saying that you're like, anything's going to happen to you and you're going to die. That's not what I see here. I'm talking about here in, on earth, in your reality. But between the likes of the 3D and the 5D, and being able to anchor in Christ consciousness, right? But from a place where you are whole and complete within yourself and feeling that about yourself. But not only feeling it, but living it. And how is that embodied within you? And I see that being a process that accelerates other aspects of your life, especially the aspects that allow you to develop this deep, compassionate, love for all other beings. That is what I see, group number 2. All right? I think you got your message. So that's cool. I'm going to park this up and I'm going to pull the charms out. By the way, we have Pyrite here. I really like Pyrite. Yeah. So, right. I'm going to trust that you have envisaged a charm. It's funny, because I'm still my communication with this group has just gone south. My voice is just not it for me. I can hear it. And, I'm still able to talk, but it's just, there's so much of my attention going into the way my voice sounds that it's not on what I'm actually saying. It's not completely present. Like I said, you're going to integrate this stuff so that you're not feeling so scattered and like pieces of you are here, there and everywhere. Okay, so I drew this last night. This is one of 3 drawings that I drew, just inadvertently drawing while I was talking on the phone, on a call. But again, I see 3. I see 3, we call them koru here in New Zealand, and they're fern fronds. And it's like a family. This represents as a family because they're all together. It looks like they're all on the same branch. Or the branches that sort of sit together. And they're all providing a refuge. A refuge? For one another. Okay? So I'm just going to say that, this is going to be fine. You're going to do this. And that's the other thing. I'm like, there's something else here. There's something about genealogy here. And as you're wrapping up, whatever these cycles are, it just sends out along the family lines that this has been accomplished. So I think that's awesome. But that's what I see here. I see family in this one. And also genealogy. So your ancestors. Okay, let's see what's in here. It will be a surprise to us both. Not as many in this one as it was in the last one. Okay. So let us start with this, I think. This is a palm tree. We have a zebra. So I'm like getting Sahara vibes here. I don't know that there are palm trees in the Sahara, but anyway, so I'm calling it. Okay, so we've got, I'm going to do I'll do the guides messages first, then the charms, then the letters, and I'm going to do the messages last. Actually, there's only one message here, and it might not even be a message. This group seems to be the one group that hasn't, well, so far, hasn't been or been given in relation to a significant other. So, presumably, either you are on your own and you're doing this solo, this spiritual journey, you're doing it solo, or actually I don't have an or. My transmission on that ended. So your friendship will provide this connection with a solid foundation. So, you know, your journey where I said you might be doing it solo, that's said you might still have a friend or friends that you work closely with. Make your proposal. This is King of Wands territory. If you've got a proposal, right, make it. And this could relate to either work or your love life. It's like, you know, if I'm looking at where's this King of Wands looking, he's looking over here at this Nine of Pentacles person. So, you know, it could well be in relation to love. What does this say? A friend is coming. So more friend energy. Love this. Follow your passion. Again, this is King of Wands territory. I'm going to pull those over in a second so we can see what they say on the back. I'll work my ass off for this, for us. So, you know, like I said, I'm only just now starting to get vibes of another person. So take or leave that. But, oh boy, just know that if you are dealing with another person, they'll work hard on the connection. So we have half a... So I feel like everything you keep simple. You keep it simple, and that's a flex. You also are like, there's some sort of minimization. No, you like minimal would be your interior decorating. Wow, now I'm getting tired. Okay, so I'm going to race ahead with this. We have sunglasses. We have this beautiful... Oh, it used to have something in it. But it's now reminding me of sacred geometry. We have a peace sign. We have a bow. There's lots of ideas here. Not surprising, because we do have the King of Swords up here. And there is, if you have a person, this could relate to you as well, they might feel like your rock here. We have someone here with green, mohawk green eyebrows and one tooth. We have we actually do have the Sahara. We do have the Sahara. And it's almost like there's a wilderness factor here. Group number 2. I've stepped in the edit process to voice over the charms read or the rest of it because it was becoming laborious to listen to. What I get from that is that you might be finding yourself in a bit of a drag or experiencing a period where you're just tired, or where you're needing a lot more rest, or where things are becoming laborious. If so, just know that you're going to get a reboot or a boost just to help you complete this leg of the journey. There is a bow, there is a worker bee, there is the letter I, a watermelon, there is a pair of sunglasses, there is a pineapple. I'm definitely seeing with the pineapple, the sunglasses, and the palm tree that we're probably looking at the tropics here. There is a clock or a timepiece. The time says 12:15, I think, or 12:45. So midday or midnight might be relevant. Now, we're talking about time, and this is crazy to me. I am backwards and forwards in time with this reading. This insert that I'm doing right now, I'm doing at the end of the voiceovers. I'm coming back in because, as we go on and I go back and listen, I'm seeing more things that I've missed. So you might find yourself feeling like something's complete and then it's not complete, or you might feel like you understood something and then you realize something else later. Now, specifically, I want to revisit the other person factor because this is something I missed initially. Now, I've already talked about the King of Wands seeing the Nine of Pentacles. I have mentioned that there is a friend here, or a friend is coming. Friendship is a factor. There is someone in here talking about your style. There is the green piece of paper, which I'm going to I unwrap off camera. Like literally, I've had to come back in and read it later because I completely missed it. So you might find yourself missing signs, missing things, in the course of wrapping up this stage of your journey. That's okay. Just know that you're going to come back and find the answers you need as time goes on. So yeah, it's a interesting process you might find yourself in. But what I did miss that I'm going to mention now is the Queen of Pentacles sitting right beside the King of Wands. Right? So we do have these counterparts here. And I do suspect that there is an aspect of your journey that I'm not seeing here that does relate to friendship, that is going to be relevant to you, but it is part of the next part of your journey. That's what I suspect. Tied up in your friendship. Perhaps. That is for you to discover. All right, I'm going to leave you to it. I've got one little bit to do as part of the voiceover, and then that'll be your reading. Now, I want to come back to the worker bee. There's something here about getting the work done. And it's funny because I wanted to say getting the work done without breaking a sweat. But there does feel like there's the capacity to feel like the work is never ending. Just know that you will reach a point where you make the honey. Okay, so there are two things on the desk that I never got to in the read because I just got too tired to see them. And I'm going to address those now. I went digging back in the charms box for what's written on that green piece of paper. And I'm going to tell you what it says on it. It is Goldford, Easy Does It. It's actually a song. The song's called Easy Does It. It is either a group or a person named Goldford. I actually quite like this song. It's a song about something precious. The words specifically, or the lyrics specifically, ain't easy to find. She wants to dive right in. He says, take it easy. So yeah, I'd encourage you to go and look that up if it sounds like something that might be relevant to you. Now, there's something else that I just noticed, going through or doing this voiceover, and underneath that green piece of paper on the bottom right hand side, which I've just told you about, is something yellow. I have no idea what that is, and I suspect that's a mystery for you to uncover. That is probably wrapped up in those lyrics. I encourage you to go and look them up in case it, like I said, it is relevant to you. Okay, that is your reading group number 3. I hope you found it useful. All the best in wrapping up this leg of your journey and on the next stage. May you be blessed. All right, bye for now. Group number 3, welcome to your reading. My name is Maraea. Life is a game of tarot. Before we get into your reading, in your mind's eye, picture an image or an object or a word. And when we pull out the charms at the end of the reading, look for that picture, that object, that word, or whatever it is that came into your mind's eye. That is an exercise in testing your intuition. And where applicable, we will use what's in there to accent your reading as well. So, that aside, let's get straight into it. Let's go and clarify the Queen of Cups. So, the path in front of you, or the path that is appearing for you, is one of the embodiment of, I'm going to say, your appreciation of your spiritual nature, actually. We, by the way, are in the series Eye of the Needle. And it is about spiritual refinement. And so, what we see here is the Queen of Cups in meditation and thanks and gratitude for the full cup that she has in front of her. She's sitting in water here, and the cup is full, yet it is floating on the water. It is a cup full of spirit. Clarifying Three of Cups. Nice. Got a nice light energy here. It's cool. So, we, with the Three of Cups here, see three birds that are sitting, talking with each other. Well, chirping to each other while they're enjoying the setting or rising sun. So, we are talking about, in this case, I feel like we're talking about friendship. Oh, and the Two of Cups. Oh, that's beautiful. What path is appearing? What energy, opportunity, or lesson is beginning to reveal itself to you? There's something about your relationship here with Spirit that you're really starting to embody. That is Queen of Cups again. That is fulfilling, deeply fulfilling. And that fulfillment is spilling into your friendships, into your love life. I'm going to say love life. Into just all your connections. Look, this Two of Cups is right beneath the Queen of Cups. Oh my God, that's beautiful. And then we have this Queen of Cups. And altogether we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cups. Deeply, emotionally fulfilling. That's what I see here. I see kindred. Right, 6 of Cups. I see kindred spirits. I see love. I see I see romantic love here. But I also see oh my gosh, sorry. But I also see friendship. And so, whatever applies in your case, take that. But it is profound fulfillment in your relationships. So, group 1, that's what I see. That's what I see coming in for you, right? That's the path that is appearing for you. Where are you in relation to it? You're dreaming it into being, basically. Let's clarify this. There might be some illusions here, and that will be the only thing you'll have to sort of work through. But let's just see, where are you in relation to this deep emotional fulfillment, spiritual and emotional fulfillment. Yeah, you're dreaming it into being. And, you know, it's on track. I feel like this is a given. What, you know, what, anything else here in relation to... this path, what is supporting or stalling you? Look, this is coming in fast. You've been planning. This looks to me like where's my feather? It looks to me like you've been planning this. All right, it's like this. The road is straight, and it's taking you right. You know, right there. And especially with this Knight of Swords, the Knight of Swords rushes in. And the only thing that might be, an upset here is the speed at which this is happening, especially with this Chariot here. It's like it's straight through. You've done enough work. Whatever you've been doing, you've done enough where it's the path is straightforward, right? And what you're anchoring as you move forward is the ability to, I'm just going to say quantum shift this stuff, right? Quantum shift. Like with the clarification here, for me it's not about illusions. This Seven of Cups is less about illusions as it is about having Okay, you know what, I just got a kind of hold up. If you are having difficulty working out what to choose here, stick to the straight and narrow, which should make your choices easier. And what does the straight and narrow look like, especially with this guy here? Like it's honest, it's straightforward, it's direct, and it doesn't mess about. So, if you're looking at, what your choices are, align with that straightforward path. I don't have any examples for you, I'm afraid. But if you sit down and you were following this read to write down what you choose for yourself, let's say it is a deeply fulfilling romantic relationship. Let's say it is deeply fulfilling friendships. Let's say it is a emotionally profound relationship. Make whatever it is, make the choices. And then plan, take aligned action towards them. And that is how you will choose the cup that is right for you. And not one that leads you up the garden path. Okay? So that you are then charging forward. But that this looks like to me like quantum shifting. Okay? And the blessing on the horizon is that through all of this, right, let me just move this to the side a little. This potential here is to, and which is interesting that it's Queen of Swords energy that you are receiving as a blessing. It's learning. It is discernment. It's discernment. It is discernment. Oh my God, okay. Probably needing to be said, and the Ten of Pentacles. And that discernment, I love this. Anything else we want to add on here? It is the discernment that you need to be able to create this legacy that we see here in the Ten of Pentacles. Nice, quick, short reading. Very straight to the point, very direct. I'm going to take all of these. Let's have a look here. The Queen of Swords. So you have the Ten of Pentacles. Right? You have the Ace of Pentacles. You have the, oh my God, what an awesome bunch here. You have the Lovers, the Ten of Cups. Holy crap. You have the, I'm going to put the Tower here. You know what, I actually love the Tower now. I love the Tower. You know what, the Tower gets rid of illusions real quick. It might feel a little bit jarring when the Tower hits. And it can also be, oh God, awesome. This is awesome. Strength as well. Yeah, it can be jarring. And it can hurt a little if you're holding on to illusions that aren't serving you, but that make you feel like there are no other cups, when in fact there are other cups. Or maybe putting this in a better way, where the cup itself might be, say, poisoned, but the illusion is that you think you need the cup, or something along those lines. But, you know, the Tower is a catalyst for growth. And if you look at it that way, it's always going to be a cool friend to come out. And basically, you know, the Tower is that friend that comes out and that says, God, do you know what your blind spot is? It is that this isn't working. Get rid of it. But you listen to that friend because they've never set you wrong. That said, always defer to your own compass. Okay? But yeah, what I see here with this Queen of Swords is I see legacy. I see new, you know, seeds being planted that creates new life. I see you making choices for the things that you want. You know, one of these things here being family and connections that are right across the globe. It's interesting. It's the first time I've read it this way. I see truth. I see loyalty. I see integrity. I see clarity. I see fast movement. You know, and the electrifying, I was going to say ideas, but Queen of Swords is more about, yeah, seeing things clearly. Yeah, this applies. And with strength here, I see this, the blessing of, I mean, the roses in the mouth again, like here. But it's soft and it's compassionate. Yeah, with this Queen of Swords, I see you leading a very balanced life, you know, and prioritizing all of the things that are important to you. And that is the blessing, is the, as I said, discernment, the truth, the ability to grow things, including yourself, inner strength, soft inner strength, community and legacy, family. Okay, group number 3, that's what I see. Now, without further ado, I'm going to get into the charms. I can feel myself getting tired, so it's time to wrap this up. We have, okay, I've drawn 3 in every single case. I drew these things last night while I was on the phone to someone, and I drew 3, you know, 3 of these squares. And I thought, well, you know what, I should put them into the read. So here they are. I do have, yeah, there are 3. Again, it's like a family. I'm seeing, so I'm seeing seaweed here. I'm seeing bricks and, very cool. Okay. I mean, I'm saying that about my own work, but like, yeah, I'm just probably, it is what it is. It's my new favourite saying. It is what I make it. Okay, so we're going to do your charms group number 3. Okay, we have Belgique. It's a castle, probably Belgian. We have it's like is it a bear? It's a bear. Poster. I'm not sure what poster is, but it says 60. We have a train. It's an old steam engine, Helvetia. And I don't see a date here. Okay, steam train. These are stamps. There is a fire pot over the top of a fire. Something is cooking here. George here, Ford. And on the wall there's a coat of arms. And yeah, it's very cool. Here we have the Queen Elizabeth I. I presume it says first. We have a toucan. Toucan, I think it is. I don't know if it's that or a pelican. We have an elephant. Oh, interesting. We have Canada and the maple leaf. What does it say? 25 cents. This one is $4.50. Post. What is the picture of? It's a mouse. By the way, there's a crown here. There is a shrub, a potted shrub with hearts on the pot. I'll put these off to the side. Oh, I might have a few guide messages here. I think so. This is a big Douglas fir pine by the looks of things outside of a church. Temper Hall. We have a man with a set of glasses and a beard, blonde. Okay, let's put this off to the side. We have this blue gemstone. We have a guitar and a set of footprints. Heart. Put this over here. Cherries. Key. Let's check that after. We have a Mother Mary. Okay, I don't know if we can see this. It's really cute. We have a treasure box. Don't know what that is. Apart from a pig, I have a person with light coloured hair. Oh, I was going to do these last. Let me just leave these here. It's too late. I've done them now. We have a lolly, or a candy. We have a rose. A word that says road. Oh God, it's right here too. Footprints again. You know, you might be following in the footsteps of family members who were giants. We have traffic lights, a flower. I'll put that over here. I want to read it after. I have a key. Did I see a lock here somewhere? I have a hearts entwined. So, you know, it's funny. Like, you might be feeling like the genuine connection after the illusions have gone, that it doesn't exist anymore. That too is an illusion. Oh boy. Okay, let's get through this. I have a cup from Arizona, so coffee might be significant. Traffic lights might be significant to you. Name is a word that's come up here. Okay, so we've done all of these. Oh, I've got another heart here. It's like we've got doubles here, I think. Yeah, doubles and triples. See, like we've got these hearts that are entwined, and then we've got this other heart, this little black heart, and they could work together, but for whatever reason, they're not. Okay, so I think I've covered all the objects. Okay, so we've got inspirational. Okay, I'm going to read the messages now. I can hear myself fading fast, so I better get on with it. So we have the letter J. Before I turn these over, oops, I forgot to do this with the last one. I think that's the only one. Now these are messages from your team for the most part. This is a balanced connection. Self-worth work must be your focus right now. It's time to confess. Now whether that's you or your person. The end goal is unconditional love. Yeah, absolutely. Oh man, I'm tired. Okay, this is true love. Absolutely. A deeper level of commitment is on the cards. You will want for nothing. Absolutely gorgeous. Now let's see if they've got any messages here for you. I'll put them all over there. Is that the messages? So no messages from your person necessarily, unless you include what I've already said. And by the way, you might have to shift your perception here to take on board what I'm saying, so that you are planning by working backwards. Super duper tired in the middle of your reading. Group number 3, let's wrap up the charms. So I think I've given you all of the messages that are there. It looks like most of them are from your higher self. In terms of the letters, what I see here is M-R-E-N. Plus the flower of life. And I don't think I've said this one out loud. I know I love you. It's one of the messages here. And the other letter we have is F and A. Okay, and we've got another lock. Group number 3, I had to come back in with a voiceover because I was absolutely wiped by the end of this. And, you know, it's not because it wasn't an amazing reading with a lot of beautiful energy, because it absolutely was. It was a pleasure watching back through this one. But it was because I was really tired. So there were a couple of things I missed. Not much though. I don't think I mentioned the guitar. I see a treasure chest there. I think I called Mother Mary cute. I'm not sure what's up with that, but definitely Queen of Cups energy with Mother Mary. I think I missed the cross, but you can clearly see it there. For anything else I missed, I apologise. But yeah, an absolutely incredible reading. I hope that you got a lot of value out of it. I certainly enjoyed watching it back. All the best on wrapping up this leg of your journey, and with the next part, and all of the beautiful things that are coming into your life now. Alright, and have a fantastic week, by the way. We'll see you again next time. Bye.